Hey, what's up guys, welcome to my channel TechnoSam and I am Sam, and today I am going to launch the much awaited series of learning graphic designing or Photoshop bit by bit, step by step, so that if you are a beginner in this creative field, you don't exactly need to worry at all. So without further delay, let's jump into the Photoshop. So guys, just after launching Photoshop, the interface will kind of look like this. These are some of my previous projects that I have been working on in this computer. So these are showing a little thumbnail about what is the project, and to be honest, these are some of the projects which are still not there in my computer. The PSD file, for those of you who don't know, the PSD file is Photoshop document file. So if you have some thing which is made in this computer in Photoshop, then they will probably save like PSD or PSB. PSB is something totally different, and I will teach you that in the later parts of this session. But for now, you just need to know that PSD is the format in which most of the Photoshop documents are saved in your laptop or computer, anything. So guys, as you can see, I'm using a Mac because I'm on a Mac and Mac is my daily driver. So if you guys have Windows, you absolutely do not need to worry about that, because I will be also telling you the tips and tricks that you need to do on Windows computer. I will not only teach you how to do it on a Mac, and also if you guys want to see this on a Windows computer, then I also have Windows computer and I can teach you in that computer. So you do not need to worry at all, and you can let me know what do you prefer in the comment section below. So just like this, your first user interface will look like. And some of you guys may be wondering why my Photoshop is so dark, because I have actually enabled dark mode by going in this preference area, where you can actually go to different preference modes like interface and all, and from there I have selected by default this mark is selected. If you guys can't zoom it, can't see it, let me zoom in. By default this is selected, but I actually chose this color because I like dark mode and all. But to you, it absolutely matters to you what you like the best. It's personal preference after all. So right now you can start a new document by clicking Ctrl N or create new. I will be telling you the keyboard shortcuts as well as how can you do that on a mouse or trackpad. I will be teaching you both of those. So I use keyboard shortcuts because it makes the workflow much more easier. So I will click Ctrl N to go into this page, and if you already click in create new, then also this page will pop up, and here you have to choose the width and height of the canvas that you want to create. I have made some canvas here because I like to work in these formats. For generally for social media banners, I use this format like 1000 by 1000 at 772 ppi, or if it is something which is more of a high res kind of thing, then I prefer 2160 by 2160 at 72 ppi. But that completely depend on you, but I will recommend you not to go below 1000, because that's the sweet spot that Instagram supports right now. And honestly, most of you guys, if you want to do graphic designing and post your series in some platform like that, you are probably doing that in Instagram. So I will choose this one. Or if you want to do a horizontal or vertical poster, then you might have to choose 1080 by 1920. If you choose this, you will see that there is orientation. If you want a vertical kind of canvas, like for Instagram stories or WhatsApp stories, if you want a vertical canvas, then you have to click this. Or if you want a horizontal canvas, for example, if you want to use your canvas as a PNG. For those of you who don't know, PNG is actually the photos which don't have any background like logos and all. If you want to create some kind of frame or some kind of artwork that you want to incorporate in video, or just horizontally in any canvas, then you can actually go in this format. But for orientation, the vertical ones mainly goes for stories. For right now, Instagram supports max width of 1080 by 1350. This is the maximum maximum dimension that Instagram supports right now. For example, if you want to post any this is actually not a square, perfect square. So if you make a canvas in this shape, and if you want to post that on Instagram, Instagram will not actually crop the image. It will show the full length of the image, but as soon as you go into the feed, or you see the feed as a general, it will show you just square thumbnails. So keep that in mind, that if you do it in this format, then obviously if you are watching directly in the feed, because of the square thumbnail and all, it will crop it kind of little, but if you tap it and enlarge it, then it will obviously show up the full artwork. So that's it. And for the sake of this video, I am going by 1000 into 1000 at 72 ppi. So ppi is actually pixels per inch. Like each pixel, each inch you have, there is a resolution kind of thing. Like each pixel, each inch, sorry, my bad, like per inch there is 72 pixels. If you are creating that hardware, you're creating that artwork, and for that is actually quite fine for Instagram. You don't need more than that, to be honest. So let's jump into this and create 1080 by 1080 and 72 ppi, and let's tap create. You can also change the colors, because RGB is the best mode of color that you can choose for Instagram banners, and also 8-bit is the sweet spot. Do not go to 16-bit or 32-bit right now. If you are a beginner, you will absolutely mess up the things, and RGB is the best color for posting something on Instagram, and CMYK is the best color mode for actually printing any artwork. For example, if you have any event that is going on, if you want to create some banners for events or for concerts or something like that, then you need to go here in CMYK color scheme. But for putting something, just for posting something on Instagram, you need to go to RGB color. If you want to go grayscale, then you can go grayscale, but honestly I have never used that. Let's stick with RGB color, and these bitmap and lab color, you don't need to really know about that, because those are not used quite often. So let's jump into RGB color. Canvas color is white, and let's tap create. So this is how the canvas will look like, and as you have seen, it was quite like this, and as I have pressed command 0, it got fit into the screen. Command is actually the what should I say, the same key for control in Windows. For example, if you are in a Windows machine, then you will probably need to tap control 0, sorry, my bad, control 0 to fit the whole canvas into the screen. So I am tapping command. I will keep small text here, so that while editing the video, I will keep small text here, so that you get the reference in both Windows as well as Mac. So you don't need to worry about that on my speech. My bad, sorry. So first tool is the move tool. For example, okay, let me tell you some of the tools in a small highlight. For example, move tool is actually the tool which is, if you hover your mouse or your cursor over these tools, it will show you a preview of what is the main move tool. So as you have understood by the preview, that move tool is for moving different elements. Lasso tool, it is a marquee tool. Marquee tool is basically a selection tool. Like if you want to select any select any part of the element of a raster element. I will teach you something known as raster and vectors in the later part of the video. If you are want to select some raster part of the image, then you probably need to select this lasso tool or marquee tool. This is not exactly lasso tool, is marquee tool. Elliptical, rectangular, single row and single column. You need to select these. The shortcut also, if you can see, the shortcuts are given here. For example, shortcut for move tool is actually V. Shortcut for marquee tool is actually M. And this is the lasso tool. Lasso tool is probably the best tool because for selecting, because it gives you very much freedom, more than I think it's better than lasso tool, marquee tool, because it gives you much more freedom for selecting the stuff. This is the magic wand tool. Magic wand tool is for proper selection. For example, if you have an image which have a proper background of any solid color, for example, this magic wand tool is actually used for selecting any particular color from an image. So how can I tell that? So let me show you. Let me grab the brush tool by tapping B on the keyboard, and as you can see, my foreground color is selected at black and the background color is selected some kind of yellow kind of thing. So just press D to get into the default. As you can see, by default Photoshop enables this foreground color as black and background color as white. So you can press D to do that, and you can also tap X on your keyboard to toggle between the foreground and background color. So that's quite handy. So let's draw some random stuff. This is one drawing. Okay, let's make it in a new layer. So this is some kind of random stuff I drew here, and let me take a new layer and change the foreground color to something else like red. So let me grab this red color and make something here. And there are two layers now. This is the concept of layers. For example, these are the layers in which the black color is located, and this is the layer 2 is a layer in which the red color is located. So this is done by brush tool. This type of paintings done by. So I will probably now I'm going to show you is the demo of this magic wand tool. So if you actually press Command or Control E if you are using a Windows computer, Command E if you are using a Mac computer, to actually merge those layers. Now as you can see, there are two of the elements in the same layer, so you can't actually unmerge them anymore. So if you want to merge these layers, then you have to keep in mind that you can't unmerge them anymore. So if I choose the magic wand tool and just click here, then you can see the red color is selected. I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen, but you can see that the red color is only selected. Now press Ctrl D to deselect it, or Command D if you are using a Mac. And if you are tapping on this black button, black sort of thing, then the black thing is selected. I hope that you can see this. The selection is actually quite visible. So, and also press Command D to deselect it. Now I will now go to delete this layer. Deleting this layer is by going to, you can delete this layer by dragging this into this bucket icon, trash can icon, then it will get deleted. Also, next is crop tool. Crop tool is basically the thing that you want to crop the image like this, and I will show you in the later part of maybe in different tutorials of this series that how to use crop tool. Crop tool is a very efficient tool in Photoshop, especially in Photoshop CC 2019. Also, this is the frame tool. This is actually the shortcut is actually K. So if you want, this is only feature that is available in Photoshop CC 2019 and 2020. So if you are using older versions of Photoshop, you won't get this tool. Keep that in mind. So this is only frames. It only makes frames for dragging and dropping different images. If you are into graphic designing, you probably know that dragging and dropping different images to make different layouts for brochures or something like pamphlets, you need to make different frames for actually using drag and drop photos from your Finder or File Explorer. So I will delete this